The galaxy had long forgotten humanity. Centuries had passed since humans had vanished from interstellar records. Most advanced species regarded Earth as a myth, a failed world destroyed by its own wars, left to rot in a corner of space no one cared to visit. In the heart of the Andarian cluster, aboard the massive alien dreadnought Cytherian, Admiral Kraln studied a hollow map of the human sector. These humans, he sneered, his claws tapping the transparent display, once thought to challenge the galaxy. Now they are dust. Nothing more. The ship's bridge vibrated with laughter from the crew. Screens displayed historical data. Human civilization self-destructing in endless wars, technological stagnation, and lack of interstellar presence. To them, humanity was an amusing footnote. Yet the sensors picked up something unusual. A faint, steady signal, emanating from the outer rim of the supposedly abandoned system. Kraln frowned. It cannot be. These readings, they are too organized, too deliberate. He ordered the signal to be tracked. 4 hours, the Cytherian's advanced sensors traced the source, a planet shrouded in mist and mystery. Its atmosphere was thick with storms, the surface riddled with canyons and mountains, yet signs of vast constructions appeared in the readings. Artificial, massive, and undeniably intelligent. The crew laughed nervously. A ghost civilization? Or a trap admiral? One muttered. Kraln's eyes narrowed. Prepare a landing party. I want to see what remains of humanity. Meanwhile, on Earth, the Human Council convened in the newly rebuilt orbital city of Nova Prime. Humans had not been idle. After centuries of isolation, they had advanced rapidly, fueled by necessity and their innate adaptability. Their technology, though seemingly rudimentary to alien eyes, combined ingenuity, improvisation, and sheer audacity. Humans had learned to survive in the galaxy's harshest environments. Council leader Mara Voss addressed the assembly. They will come. Every species that dismissed us eventually will. And when they do, we must be ready, not to beg for mercy, but to show them who we truly are. Her voice carried both warning and pride. The humans had not just survived, they had thrived. Massive orbital shipyards built vessels far faster than their alien counterparts predicted. Defense networks hid within asteroid fields, their sensor jammers invisible to distant eyes. Humanity had become a shadow in the galaxy, underestimated yet prepared. Back on the alien dreadnought, Kraln led the landing team onto the planet. The atmosphere hissed as their ships pierced the clouds. They expected ruins, perhaps scattered survivors. Instead, they found a bustling world. Cities rose like jagged crystal, powered by unseen energies. Vehicles soared through the skies, silent and fast. On the ground, humans moved with confidence, armed and alert but not panicked. One human, a young commander named Jace Ryland, observed the alien landing through a sensor network. "They're here," he said, calm but sharp. "Let's show them why humanity was never meant to be forgotten." Kraln's party landed in the central plaza of a massive city. The aliens advanced with weapons raised. From the shadows, humans appeared. Not with fear but with strategy. Barricades rose in seconds, traps activated, and electromagnetic pulses disabled part of the alien tech. Kraln growled. They should be defenseless. Jace stepped forward, flanked by elite human operatives. "You assumed we were weak," he said, voice steady. "You assumed we could be erased. You were wrong." A sudden explosion rocked the plaza. Alien soldiers were caught in containment fields that seemed impossible for their technology. The humans moved with precision, using the environment to their advantage. Kraln watched, astonished, as his elite troops fell one by one, not through brute force but through strategy, cunning, and adaptability. "This is impossible," Kraln hissed. "They should not." "They are humans," Jace interrupted, smirking. "We survived the impossible. And now the galaxy will see why." Far above, other alien factions observed the confrontation via long-range sensors. Rumors of humans were dismissed as myths for centuries. Now, as transmissions captured images of human defenses and tactics, fear began to ripple across the cluster. Whispers of a civilization reborn, of humans capable of feats beyond comprehension, began to circulate. Meanwhile, Earth's council monitored every alien movement. "They think they are here to conquer," Mara Voss said quietly, watching the holographic projection. "But they do not yet understand that we do not fight to survive. We fight to win." The first skirmish had begun, but it was only the beginning. Across the galaxy, species that once laughed at humanity would soon learn a harsh truth. Underestimating humans was a mistake no one would live to repeat. And in the shadow of the storm-swept planet, humanity's engines roared to life, their true power yet to be revealed. The alien dreadnought Cytherian limped back into orbit, its hull scarred and systems partially disabled. Admiral Kron's pride burned hotter than the engines. Humanity had not just resisted, they had fought like predators, striking at every weakness with cunning precision. Back on the planet's surface, Jace Ryland oversaw his teams. Soldiers, engineers, and scouts moved with the seamless efficiency of a hive mind, but each retained the unpredictability of human creativity. Makeshift barricades were already reconfiguring themselves. Drones patrolled the skies and energy shields shimmered over vital installations. "This is only the beginning," Jace murmured, scanning the retreating alien ships. "They have firepower but they lack imagination." Above, in the distant Andarian cluster, word of the human resistance spread like wildfire. Alien fleets and councils convened in emergency sessions. Some dismissed the reports, calling them exaggerations. Others, particularly those with long memories of humanity's past, felt unease they could not shake. In the Andarian Senate, voices clamored over hollow communications. "It cannot be true. They are extinct," one diplomat shrieked. Another, older and more cautious, replied, "Extinct? Perhaps. But what we are seeing is something else entirely. Something dangerous." Meanwhile, on Nova Prime, Mara Voss and her council had already begun their next move. The humans could not simply defend their world, they had to seize initiative. "The galaxy thinks we are weak," Mara said. "Let's give them a reason to fear our intelligence, not just our weapons." The plan was audacious. Humanity would not wait for aliens to attack. They would strike strategically, targeting key supply lines, communication hubs, and command ships across the sector. These were not reckless attacks. They were calculated, surgical, and adaptable. Human engineers, using salvaged alien tech and their own innovations, created stealth vessels capable of slipping through the densest sensor nets. Energy weapons were optimized to penetrate shields in precise bursts. Even alien war tactics had been studied, catalogued, and countered. The first strike occurred without warning. A convoy of alien freighters transporting vital resources from the outer rim disappeared in the blink of an eye. When the aliens tried to track them, they found only an empty void where the convoy had been, save for a single transmission, a human emblem and a simple message: "Adapt or die." Panic rippled through the galaxy. Species that had once ignored humanity now argued over what to do. Should they negotiate, prepare fleets, or retreat? The Andarian cluster, once confident, now simmered with fear and confusion. On the battlefield, humans continued to prove their genius. In orbital skirmishes, Jace Ryland's fleet used asteroid belts as cover, deploying decoys and traps that alien AI could not anticipate. Alien commanders who relied on brute force found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. Kron, desperate, sent his remaining ships on a direct assault on Nova Prime. But humans were ready. Energy fields sliced through the vacuum, disrupting propulsion systems. Ships that thought themselves invincible were disabled without a single human casualty. The alien commander finally realized that humanity fought not with overwhelming numbers, but with unpredictability, intelligence, and resilience. "Admiral Kron," one officer stammered, "they are not like anything we have faced before. It's as if the galaxy itself bends to their strategy." Kron's claws tightened on the console. "Impossible," he hissed. "They are humans. They should be weak, fragile, emotional. But every step, every move, they think 10 steps ahead." On the human side, Jace contacted Mara via secure quantum channel. "They are coming," he said, "and they expect fear. But all they will find is a storm." Mara nodded. "Then let us show them the full storm. Prepare the planetary defenses. Activate the secondary fleets. And Jace," she paused, her voice sharp, "make them regret every moment they doubted humanity." Meanwhile, spies and reconnaissance units infiltrated alien networks, uncovering plans of larger fleets gathering in distant clusters. Humans learned quickly, the galaxy's reaction would be to unite against them. But humanity anticipated this too. They were not waiting to be hunted, they were preparing the ultimate gambit. The preemptive strike that would force the galaxy to acknowledge them as apex strategists. Alien generals began to argue amongst themselves. Some favored retreat. Some wanted annihilation. None understood the humans' resilience, their capacity to adapt, or their willingness to sacrifice cunning for ultimate victory. One rising voice, a young Andarian commander, whispered nervously, "They are not just a threat, they may be the future. And we are standing in their path." As night fell on Nova Prime, humans watched the stars not with fear but with purpose. Each blinking light was a potential challenge, a potential enemy, but also a test of human ingenuity. In hidden shipyards, new vessels were ready. In secret bunkers, weapons were primed. Every citizen, from the youngest engineer to the seasoned commander, understood one truth: survival was not enough. Humanity would conquer the impossible. And so, the first act of the human gambit began. Across the galaxy, species who once ignored Earth would soon learn that the humans they had forgotten were not only alive, they were evolution perfected, cunning sharpened, and unstoppable. Above all, the humans smiled, for they knew that the galaxy's greatest mistake had been underestimating them. The galaxy was trembling. The humans' sudden resurgence had shattered centuries of complacency. Across the Andarian cluster and beyond, fleets convened in secrecy. Alien admirals and emperors debated the threat of humanity, a species they had long dismissed as extinct. Yet no consensus emerged. Every plan to strike was thwarted by reports of unseen attacks, and every fleet that moved found itself ambushed or misdirected. On Nova Prime, Jace Ryland convened with Mara Voss and the Human High Council. The planet's orbital space was a hive of activity. Hidden fleets lurked in asteroid belts, cloaked in advanced human stealth technology. Satellites hummed with surveillance and energy fields bristled across strategic points. "They are mobilizing faster than we expected," Mara said, her voice calm but firm. "Several clusters report gatherings of alien forces. They plan to crush us before the rumors spread further." Jace's fingers danced across his console, bringing up simulations of alien fleet movements. "They assume numbers matter," he said. "They think firepower wins. But numbers mean nothing when they walk into traps and firepower can be outmaneuvered. We strike first. Art. And we vanish before they even know what hit them." The first wave of human assaults began. Using asteroid belts as cover, strike teams slipped behind enemy formations. Energy beams carved through alien cruisers, while swarms of microdrones disabled engines and weapon systems. Entire fleets disappeared before the aliens could coordinate their defenses. In the Andarian Senate, panic erupted. "What is happening?" demanded one elder diplomat. "We outnumber them 10-1. Another replied, voice trembling, "Outnumbering does not matter. They do not fight like other species. They think differently. Every move, every strike, it is precise, unpredictable, and devastating." Meanwhile, Admiral Kraln, nursing the ruins of the Zytherian, attempted to rally a response. "We need overwhelming force," he growled, sending urgent orders across his shattered fleet. But even with combined fleets, humanity's tactics neutralized superior firepower. Ships vanished in sudden bursts of light, only to reappear elsewhere, striking vital supply lines. On the diplomatic front, whispers of human resurgence began to fracture alliances among alien races. Some species, once eager to join in the destruction of humans, hesitated. "If these humans are as dangerous as they say, can we truly risk facing them?" one ambassador murmured. In the void above the shattered nebula, Jace Ryland led a daring maneuver. Using decoy signals and gravitational anomalies, human forces lured an elite alien battle group into a trap. Fields of magnetic disruption disabled shields, while precision strikes cut through the hulls. Alien commanders who once laughed at Earth's supposed weakness were now fighting for survival. Kraln watched helplessly. "Impossible," he whispered. "How can they anticipate every move?" "They are humans," a junior officer replied, voice shaking. "They survive everything. They adapt faster than we can even calculate." On Nova Prime, Mara addressed her people. "We do not fight to be feared," she said, her voice carrying across global broadcasts. "We fight because the galaxy doubted us. Because survival is not enough. Because humanity's potential is limitless when we refuse to yield." Across the battlefield, human soldiers executed strategies that combined centuries of improvisation with cutting-edge technology. Supply lines were cut, command ships were disabled, and entire alien formations fell into disarray. What the galaxy once believed was extinction was now evolution perfected, a civilization capable of turning any disadvantage into triumph. Yet, for all their victories, humans faced a greater challenge. Rumors of a secret alien coalition, an elite assembly of the galaxy's most powerful fleets, reaching for a full-scale strike against Earth circulated. If they succeeded, humanity's rise could be halted. Jace Ryland convened a council of strategy. "They will come," he said. "The galaxy will unite against us. But they do not understand us yet. Their alliance is rigid, predictable. We will exploit that." Human diplomats worked simultaneously to sow discord among the alien coalition. Fake transmissions, subtle misinformation, and decoy fleets caused suspicion and paranoia. Aliens who once trusted their allies now doubted every command. Humanity's genius was not only in battle, it was in manipulation, foresight, and cunning. The galaxy's perception of humanity was changing. From myth to rumor, from rumor to fear, humans became the ghost that haunted every council chamber, every fleet, every distant planet. The species once ignored was now the one that could not be ignored. And in the quiet of Nova Prime's war room, Jace and Mara exchanged a glance. They knew the coming battles would test every ounce of human ingenuity. But they also knew one truth: humanity did not merely survive the impossible, they thrived in it. Above the stars, alien fleets gathered for a decisive confrontation. And humanity waited, patient, calculated, and ready. The storm was approaching, and the galaxy had yet to see the full fury of humanity's return. The stars themselves seemed to tremble as fleets converged near the Veyron expanse, a gas-rich sector notorious for deadly gravitational anomalies. It was the perfect stage for humanity's first grand test, a confrontation that would either cement their resurgence or risk annihilation. Admiral Kron's fleet had grown, reinforced by allies from across multiple alien sectors. Hundreds of cruisers, destroyers, and capital ships gathered, a wall of firepower meant to crush humanity once and for all. Their confidence was absolute. To them, humans were clever but ultimately fragile. Numbers, they believed, would prevail. On Nova Prime, Jace Ryland and Mara Voss oversaw preparations. Human ships emerged from hidden jump points, invisible to alien scanners. Tactical holograms projected enemy positions, energy flux patterns, and gravitational anomalies in real time. "This is not just a battle," Mara said, her tone steady, her eyes glowing with determination. "It is the moment the galaxy will remember. Every species that laughed at us will learn why humans survive where others fail." Jace leaned over the display, pointing to the enemy formation. "They expect a frontal assault. We'll give them that, but only as a lure. Real strike teams will hit from 3 vectors. Ambushes, traps, and adaptive energy fields will fragment their formation before they can react." The first shots were fired, but not by humans. Alien weapons lit the void, their beams piercing the darkness toward human vessels. Yet the humans had anticipated everything. Adaptive shielding bent the energy, dispersing it harmlessly into the surrounding space. Ships that appeared small and fragile darted unpredictably, disrupting targeting algorithms. Suddenly, from hidden jump points, the human strike fleets emerged. Cloaked vessels moved like phantoms, hitting the aliens' supply lines and command ships simultaneously. In seconds, the battlefield erupted into chaos. Alien formations broke apart as humans exploited every gravitational anomaly, using plasma bursts and synchronized strikes that seemed to anticipate enemy maneuvers before they occurred. Kron's voice roared over comms. "Hold formation. Do not fall apart. They are only humans, they cannot possibly." A massive energy pulse erupted from a hidden human carrier. Entire alien squadrons vanished in a shimmer of displacement waves, leaving the remaining forces stunned. "Impossible," Kron repeated, his voice trembling. "They are everywhere, and nowhere." On Nova Prime, Mara Voss monitored the battle. "Remember," she told her commanders, "this is more than a fight for survival. It is a declaration: humanity will not be dismissed again. Every move is precise. Every decision counts." Human operatives executed maneuvers alien minds could barely comprehend. Using gravitational anomalies as shields, they appeared behind enemy lines, striking vital engines and communication hubs. Entire fleets were immobilized without a single human ship lost. Alien commanders scrambled to reorganize, but humanity's adaptability was unmatched. In the midst of the battle, a bold human tactic stunned the galaxy. Jace Ryland's fleet simulated a retreat, drawing Kron's flagship into a trap within a nebula's magnetic turbulence. Alien sensors failed, ships collided, engines overloaded. The humans struck from all sides, the flagship crippled, its crew panicked. "Fall back," Kron shouted, but orders came too late. Systems failed, and the flagship spiraled toward a gas giant, where it detonated in a massive explosion, lighting the nebula with fire. Across the galaxy, transmissions captured this spectacle. Planets that had laughed at humanity now trembled at the display of precision, cunning, and sheer audacity. Species that once claimed humans were extinct now whispered in fear. Yet even amid triumph, humans remained vigilant. Mara addressed her council: "Victory is only as strong as our next move. We cannot allow them to recover, regroup, or unite. The galaxy will test us again. And we will be ready." Back on Kron's command bridge, the Admiral stared at the hollow map, astonished and enraged. How can they anticipate everything? Every formation, every tactic. They are not just survivors, they are apex strategists. Every rule we know, they bend it. But humanity's war was not only fought with weapons. Behind the scenes, human diplomats had sown discord among alien allies. Suspicion, mistrust, and paranoia spread like wildfire. Fleets hesitated to act, unsure if their allies would betray them or flee. The galaxy's coalition, once united, now fractured under the subtle genius of human foresight. As the battle ended, human forces withdrew strategically, leaving alien fleets battered and confused. The Veyron expanse was quiet again, but the lesson had been carved into the hearts of every alien commander. Humanity was no longer a species to underestimate. Above Nova Prime, Jace and Mara watched the stars, knowing the war had only begun. They will regroup, Jace said, voice calm but firm. And we will be ready, Mara replied. We are humanity. We survive the impossible. And soon the galaxy will know the truth. The storm had passed, but its echoes spread across the stars. Humanity had returned not as a weak, forgotten species, but as an unstoppable force, strategic, resilient, and brilliant. And somewhere in the dark void of space, alien leaders whispered a chilling truth they could no longer deny. Underestimating humans had been the galaxy's greatest mistake. The galaxy was at the brink. Alien fleets from multiple sectors had united under the banner of total annihilation. Every ship, every weapon, every cunning mind was directed toward humanity. From the void of deep space, the coalition moved like a tidal wave, a storm of destruction intent on erasing the species that dared to defy the universe's assumptions. On Nova Prime, the Human Council convened in a war room that was both a command center and a symbol of resilience. Mara Voss stood at the center, flanked by holographic projections of the approaching alien armada. Her voice was calm, but every word carried the weight of humanity's survival. They believe they can destroy us with numbers, Mara said. They have never faced humans at full strength. Every move they make, every formation they deploy has been anticipated. Today we do not merely defend. We redefine what it means to be humanity. Jace Ryland, his jaw tight with focus, studied the enemy projections. This is not a battle we can win by brute force. We will win because we are unpredictable, adaptive, and relentless. Their fleets will break before they even realize it, and when they do, they will see the cost of underestimating humans. The humans had prepared everything. Stealth fleets hidden in nebulae, adaptive energy weapons, decoy convoys, and gravitational traps, all designed to disrupt, confuse, and annihilate the overconfident alien coalition. Every civilian, engineer, and soldier on Nova Prime understood their role. This was survival, and survival demanded perfection. The first strikes erupted in a flash of light. Cloaked human vessels darted through gravitational eddies, disabling alien shields and engines. Supply lines were shredded. Communication networks faltered. Every move was calculated, yet unpredictable, leaving alien commanders scrambling to respond. Kron, commanding the coalition flagship, watched in disbelief. They cannot anticipate everything, can they? He murmured, teeth clenched. Every formation, every strike. How is this possible? But humans did not fight blindly. Behind the front lines, a smaller elite strike force, Jace included, moved to infiltrate the flagship's command systems. Using a combination of stealth technology and alien code reverse-engineered by human engineers, they slipped past shields and defenses, entering the very heart of the alien command network. Inside the flagship, alarms screamed. Alien officers scrambled, unaware of the human operatives infiltrating their systems. Jace and his team moved swiftly, bypassing layers of security. With precise timing, they activated countermeasures that disrupted the flagship's energy distribution, turning the alien capital ship into a floating trap for its own fleet. Above the battlefield, Mara coordinated orbital strikes. Massive energy waves surged from hidden platforms, forcing alien formations into zones rigged with magnetic distortions and plasma fields. Entire wings of the coalition were immobilized or destroyed before they could react. But the battle was not without personal cost. A close human operative was lost during a daring strike, reminding everyone that victory required sacrifice. Jace stood among the chaos, emotion held in check, knowing that every loss sharpened humanity's resolve. Alien politics fractured under the pressure. Distrust between coalition members erupted into betrayal. Some fleets abandoned their positions, fearing sabotage. Others argued over tactics, leaving openings that human forces exploited relentlessly. Kron's desperation reached its peak. "We will not fail," he roared, but the cracks in his command were already showing. Human ingenuity had done more than repel attacks. It had turned the coalition's strengths against itself. Finally, the decisive moment arrived. Human fleets converged on the coalition's central command cluster, striking from multiple angles simultaneously. Disruption pulses disabled navigation systems, stealth craft infiltrated command ships, and ground-based orbital cannons targeted flagship engines. In a brilliant display of tactical coordination, the coalition's fleet was shattered, retreating in confusion and fear. As the dust settled, Mara addressed the human people. "The galaxy tried to erase us, to dismiss us as weak and extinct. Today we proved that humanity survives not by chance, but by strategy, courage, and unbreakable will. We are not just survivors, we are apex." Jace Ryland, standing on the observation deck of a flagship, looked out at the fleeing alien vessels. "They underestimated us," he said quietly. "Every species that laughed at humanity, they will think twice now. Not because of our weapons but because of who we are." Far across the galaxy, alien leaders whispered in disbelief. The humans they had dismissed were not only alive, they were supreme. Every lesson in adaptation, strategy, and resilience had been perfected into a force that no coalition could ignore. And on Nova Prime, humanity celebrated not only survival, but mastery over what the galaxy had assumed impossible. The universe had ignored humanity for too long. Now every species would know, underestimating humans was the gravest mistake the galaxy had ever made. The battlefield was silent. The remnants of the alien coalition fled into the void, their fleets shattered, their morale broken. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath as humanity emerged victorious, not through overwhelming numbers, but through intelligence, adaptability, and relentless determination. On Nova Prime, the city gleamed under twin suns. Its orbital defenses still hummed with energy, ready for any threat. Mara Voss addressed the people in a global broadcast, her voice steady and inspiring. "The galaxy assumed we were extinct, fragile, weak. Today we prove them wrong. Humanity does not merely survive the impossible, we masters it. From this moment we no longer hide in the shadows. We define the future." Jace Ryland stood beside her, watching the last fleeing alien ships disappear into the dark. His mind raced, not with triumph but with anticipation. Humanity's war was not merely against one fleet, it was against an entire galaxy that had underestimated them for centuries. Yet now the first chapter of their resurgence was complete. Across the Andarian cluster, alien councils convened in panic. Species that had laughed at Earth's supposed destruction now trembled at reports of human tactics and victories. Holocommunications replayed images of human fleets striking with precision, of entire alien squadrons immobilized or destroyed, and of planetary defenses that had never before been seen. In one council chamber, a young Andarian admiral whispered, "They are evolution perfected. Every species that thought themselves supreme is vulnerable. We cannot fight them the way we have fought others. Humanity is beyond anything we imagined." Back on Nova Prime, humans worked to stabilize the galaxy. Mara knew that raw strength alone would not secure their place. Diplomacy, subtle influence, and strategic alliances would be just as critical as their unmatched battlefield prowess. Alien emissaries approached under truce, eager to understand the species that had shattered their assumptions. Jace addressed a delegation of cautious alien leaders. "We do not seek to conquer," he said, his voice firm yet calm. "We seek recognition. The galaxy will know that humanity survives, adapts, and thrives where others fail. But those who oppose us will find they cannot ignore our presence, or our ingenuity." Some aliens nodded, others bowed, but all realized a fundamental truth. Humans were apex not by brute force alone, but through creativity, resilience, and strategic genius. Meanwhile, the remnants of defeated fleets struggled to regroup. Reports of sabotage, misinformation, and adaptive tactics made them doubt one another. Humanity had done more than win battles, they had reshaped the psychology of the galaxy. Fear, respect, and awe spread faster than fire across dry grass. On Nova Prime, celebrations erupted, but not as frivolous displays. Every citizen understood the gravity of what had been achieved. Engineers, soldiers, scientists, and civilians alike had contributed to a triumph that no one outside humanity had thought possible. Humanity had survived the impossible and in doing so had rewritten the rules of the galaxy. In the council chambers, Mara turned to Jace. "This is only the beginning," she said. The galaxy may fear us now, but they will come to understand us. And when they do, we will be ready. Jace smiled, looking out at the stars. They will see that humans are not just survivors, he said. We are apex. We are unstoppable. And we never forget. As the twin suns set over Nova Prime, the planet's surface shimmered with energy and life. Humanity had endured centuries of doubt, isolation, and underestimation. Now the galaxy recognized what humans had always known. Their ingenuity, courage, and adaptability made them unparalleled. Far beyond Nova Prime, in the silent reaches of space, alien fleets began to reconsider their strategies. The species they had ignored for millennia now dominated the battlefield, the mines, and the future of the galaxy. And the truth spread like a storm. To underestimate humanity was a mistake no civilization could afford to make twice. In the quiet of Nova Prime's observation towers, Mara and Jace watched as fleets of new human ships departed for distant sectors, not to conquer but to assert presence, to explore, to secure allies, and to demonstrate that humanity's resurgence was not a threat alone, but a promise. The universe had awakened to the rise of an unparalleled species. The galaxy had ignored humanity for centuries. It would never do so again. And somewhere, among the distant stars, a simple message echoed silently across every communication channel. Humanity has returned. The impossible is ours. The age of humanity had begun.